Welcome to practice. Today we will be calling in the 47th Gene Keys gift, the gift of transmutation. Transmutation means moving, changing from one thing into the next. If you have Young Living's transformation oil, go ahead and grab it. If you haven't already, pause the video. If you do not have this oil, please keep practicing with me. This oil just adds another layer of transformation, transmutation, and healing of the blocks to help raise our frequencies from the shadow frequencies up to the gift and maybe even city frequencies. If you have your oil, taking 2 or 3 drops into the palm of your hand. If you don't, just follow along, rubbing the hands together and taking 5 deep breaths. Breathing with us if you don't have the oil. And then slowly bringing your index and middle finger to the third eye and making circles around the third eye. Taking 5 more breaths, massaging the third eye. Finding stillness with the hands, keeping your index and middle finger connected to the third eye. This helps to activate the neocortex, that is the physical attribute of the body where this gene key is held and activates. Our neocortex is where our mind thinks and processes. It is where we hold past memories, ancestral memories is what we hold in this gene key in the shadow frequency. So as we work with this, our neocortex is also our space for learning new things, for transforming, for growing, for evolving. It is how we have been able to do so many of the amazing things humankind has been able to do. Because we have the most developed neocortex of any mammal on Earth. Slowly releasing the hands down to the knees, and we'll start working into the neck. Slowly following your intuition here, moving the head around, opening the neck. You can rock the head slowly side to side. Bringing full circles if that feels okay on your neck. If you find any sticky spots, holding there, breathing in, creating space in the muscles, creating space in the body, creating space for the body to release. taking your time, breathing in. One of the ways we're able to grow and evolve is when we really start to know ourselves and where we're at. Releasing the neck and bringing openness creates more openness in the mind. Coming back to center and stillness with the neck for a breath. On your next inhale, inhaling the arms high, we'll take a gentle twist over to the right, bringing the right hand back behind you, left hand to the right knee, twisting out the spine. You can play with your neck here if you feel called, finding a little more space, playing around. Exhale, slowly release that side. Inhaling the arms back up through center and exhaling, coming over to the left. Right hand behind you, left hand to right knee. Again, taking any movements you need to with the neck, creating space and length here so that the head feels more open and released. Creating space for that transmutation, creating space for that evolution. And we'll exhale back to center, making our way into Halasana, child's pose. Taking a breath here, allowing the spine to lengthen and the hips to open. Taking an inhale, coming through to table, and we'll take Anahatasana, our puppy pose, reaching the arms out long, letting the heart sink, hips over the knees. If you need to take some movements here, feel free, always following your intuition. Breathing into the heart, breathing into the third eye, inhaling, coming back through your table, and then we'll slowly exhale, making your way into down dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. If you feel called, taking some gentle movements here. Swaying the hips side to side, bending into the knees, whatever it is that you need to start waking up the back of the legs. And then finding some stillness for a breath. On your next inhale, looking forward and gently walking the feet to the hands, coming up halfway lift. Exhale and fold, hanging here for a breath. Allowing the back to open, the back of the legs. The body will open over time. Inhaling, slowly rolling up to standing, coming into your Tadasana. We'll flow through a classical Surya Namaskara A. Inhaling, bringing the hands up overhead. Exhaling, forward fold. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step the left leg back, coming down into Ajna Asana. With the back knee grounded on the ground, inhaling the arms up overhead. Exhale, releasing the hands back down, stepping your right foot back to meet the left, lowering down, Chaturanga. Inhaling Urdhva Mukha. Exhaling, Adho Mukha. Bringing the left foot forward, releasing the right knee onto the earth, coming up, Anahatasana, arms up overhead. Exhale, planting the hands down. We'll bring the right foot to meet the left, inhaling, halfway lift. Exhaling, forward fold. Inhaling, lifting all the way up, rising up. And exhale, releasing hands through heart center. Again, inhale, lifting the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhale, bringing the right foot back, lowering the knee down. Inhaling, hands up. Exhale, release. Left foot to meet the right, lower down, chaturanga. Inhaling, up dog. Exhaling, down dog. Bringing the right foot forward, lowering the left knee down, lifting the arms high. Exhale and fold. Left foot to meet the right. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale and fold. Inhale, rising all the way up, arms up overhead. And exhale, releasing the arms by the sides. Last round. Inhale, lifting the arms high. Exhale and fold. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhale, stepping the left foot back, lowering the left knee down. Anahatasana. We're going to hold 5 breaths, allowing the hips to sink in, lifting the heart up. Exhale, releasing the hands down, stepping the right foot back to meet the left, lowering down, chaturanga. Inhaling, Urdhva Mukha. Exhaling, Adho Mukha. Inhaling, left foot forward. We'll lower down onto the right knee. Inhale, arms up, Anahatasana. Arms up overhead. Sinking into the hips, opening the front body up. Exhale, lowering the hands down, stepping the right foot to meet the left. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhaling, forward fold. Inhaling, lifting the arms all the way up. And exhale, releasing the hands through heart center. We're going to prepare for Padang Gustasana. So taking the feet out hips width if they're not already. Bringing the hands to the hips. Inhaling, drawing length and space through the spine. Exhaling, forward fold. Taking your peace sign fingers around the big toes. Allowing the back to release and elongate. If you need to bend the knees to hold on to the toes, no worries. Meeting yourself exactly where you're at. On your next inhale, we'll halfway lift and we'll take Padang Gustasana. So bringing your padas under your hastas. So your hands underneath your feet, palms facing up, bringing your toes all the way up to the wrists. Again, bending the knees if you need to. On your next exhale, gently forward fold, allowing the back to lengthen. When we surrender to the process of opening and mutating, that's when we open ourselves up to the gift level of this gene key, the gift of transmutation. On your next inhaling, halfway lift, bringing the hands to the hips, lifting all the way up. We're going to prepare for Prasarita Patatanasana Sequence. So stepping your left foot out, bringing the feet out in a wide-legged stance, feet right underneath the wrists. Inhaling, extending the arms out to the sides. Exhaling, bringing the hands onto the hips. Inhaling, drawing length and space through the spine. The exhale, releasing forward fold, bringing the hands to the ground if they can reach, fingertips to the ground if you need. And again, just allowing the body to open. Allow the pose to unfold. On your next inhale, planting the hands into the ground, we'll halfway lift. Exhale, bringing the hands to the hips. And inhale, coming all the way up. We'll prepare for B position, inhaling the arms out to the sides. Exhaling, releasing the hands onto your hips. Inhaling, drawing length and space. On the exhale, we're going to fold forward with the hands resting on the hips, trying to squeeze your elbows together back behind you, opening up through the heart and the chest, starting to bring more length into the shoulders. Breathing here. On your next inhale, we'll slowly inhale, rising back up. Exhale, settle in. Inhale, bringing the arms out to the side. On your exhale, we're going to clasp the hands behind the back. Inhale, drawing a little more length and space up through the spine, maybe taking a slight back bend. And exhale, releasing forward, letting the hands and the arms come as far forward as you need. If you need to use a strap here, feel free. Whatever modifications need to be made, that's all right. Working into the shoulders, you can kind of give them some little circles if you need, helping to open up. On your next inhale, slowly coming back up. Releasing the hands, bringing the hands to the hips. On your exhale, we'll inhale again, drawing length and space through the spine. And exhale, folding forward one last time. Again, bringing the peace sign fingers to the big toes, clasping the big toes, bending the knees if needed. Inhaling, halfway lift. And exhale and fold, bringing the elbows wide to the sides. You can stay here, or if it's in your practice, preparing and coming up into a tripod headstand. Grounding through the hands, making sure the hands are in front of the head. And lifting up into your tripod. Strong through the core, using the shoulders, engaging the shoulders. On your next exhale, with control, if you've lifted up, lower back down, legs wide. Grounding here for a moment, letting the body readjust, grounding the hands, inhaling, halfway lift, and exhaling, hold. Then we'll inhale and lift all the way up. We're going to flow through a Skandasana sequence, opening up the hips and quads. On your next exhale, we're going to bend into the right knee, sinking the hips down. Left leg stays long. Taking a few breaths here. Taking any movements you need to start to work into your hip. Breathing in and out. We'll come over to the other side, bending into the left knee, straightening out the right leg, and again taking whatever movements you need here to open up the hip. this first sequence, taking your time. The hips sometimes need a little encouragement in opening. Then we'll slowly flow back to the other side, your left side. And then we're going to bring the knee forward and prep for a half hero's pose. So bringing the knee forward and then sinking the hips on the inside of your heel, if that's okay on your knee. You can also sit on the block if you need to. Bending into your right knee, and we'll slowly start to walk the torso back. You can come onto the elbows. You can stay upright if needed. If it's available to you, coming all the way down onto the back. Taking a few breaths here, allowing the quads to open. Many times to get deeper into the hips, we need our quadriceps nice and open. We'll slowly make our way up on the next inhale, taking your time. We'll bring it over to the other side, bringing the other knee in, and again preparing for our half hero's pose, bringing the hips on the inside of the heel, sitting on a block if needed, releasing back onto the elbows if that's available, coming all the way onto the back if that's available. Breathing space and length into the quadricep, allowing it to transmutate, to get more length, to become a different muscle that's both strong and flexible. Slowly inhaling back to Skandasana, however you can get there. Then we're just going to flow from side to side, from right to left in Skandasana, slowly working deeper and deeper into the hips, taking your time here. And then we're going to come back into our wide leg forward fold. On your next inhale, slowly lifting back up to standing. Preparing for Matsiasana. So stepping the feet back to the front of your mat. We'll take the feet about hips width with the toes pointing out and start to sink down into your Yogi Squat. Taking any adjustments you need, I'm going to turn to the side of my mat so you can get a better view of how I have my feet set up. You can stay where you are. Just breathe into the hips. If the heels lift up off the mat, that's okay. Allowing, having patience with the body. It's a big way of how we transform, transmutate. It's just simply having patience. Slowly coming out of the pose on the next inhale. Then on your next exhale, we're going to make our way into Bakasana, our crow pose. So walking the knees up onto the triceps. If it's in your practice to come and float right into Bakasana, come right into your crow pose. If it's not, you can play with lifting up one foot, engaging the core. Maybe switching the feet and lifting up the other foot. And slowly playing with lifting up both feet. It's all physics. It's all physics here. It's finding that pivot point, that balance. On your next exhale, you can lower the feet down. If it's in your practice, you can shoot back, coming into plank. Wherever you're at, we'll all meet in plank and lower down through chaturanga. Taking an inhale here, inhaling Urdhva Mukha, And exhaling Adho Mukha. Taking a couple breaths in your down dog. Again, finding any movements that you need. On your next inhale, inhaling the left leg high. Bend the knee, stack the hip, open up. Taking a couple breaths here. On your next exhale, bringing the knee forward, knee to nose, round the back, and we'll take 5. Inhale, extend the leg back behind you. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, extend. Exhale, knee to nose, build heat. Inhale, extend. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, extend. Exhale, last one, knee to nose. Inhaling, extend. Bend the knee, stack the hips. You can stay here, or if it's in your practice, taking a flip dog. Bringing the left leg back behind you, extending the left arm up and over, working into a slight back bend. Then we'll slowly come forward, coming to your plank, exhaling chaturanga, inhaling up dog, and exhaling down dog. Other side, inhaling right leg high, bend the knees, stack the hips, opening up through the right hip. Couple more breaths here. And then exhaling, bringing knee to nose, round it in, crunch it in. Inhale, lifting the leg high. Exhale, bring it in. Inhaling high, exhale, squeeze it in. Inhaling it high, exhale, squeeze it in. Fire up that core. Inhaling high, exhale, last one, squeeze it in. Inhaling back up high, holding, bending the knees, stacking the hip, coming into your flip dog if that's available. Few breaths here. Then on your next exhale, coming forward to plank, lowering down chaturanga. Inhaling Urdhva Mukha, exhaling Adho Mukha. Inhale, looking forward, stepping or hopping the feet forward. We're going to make our way into bridge pose. So bringing the feet all the way forward, slowly rolling the back down. Walking the feet close into the hips. You can bring the hands along your sides. If it's available to you to reach the ankles, you can reach the ankles or clasp the hands underneath you. We'll inhale, lifting the hips high, coming into our bridge. Trying to bring our chest closer to our chin. Bringing this back bend into the upper back, allowing the stretch to fall down through the torso, the hip flexors, and the thighs. Couple breaths here. One more deep inhale, drawing a little more space and length. Then exhale, slowly rounding into the back, allowing the back to fall back, trickle back down onto your mat. We'll come into Padang, which is bringing the knees together, hugging them into the chest. You can find some movements rocking side to side if that feels good on the low back. We're going to prepare first Sarvangasana or shoulder stand. If shoulder stand is not in your practice, you can just lay down with the legs lifted up towards the ceiling at 90 degrees. And then we're going to come into Halasana after this. So you can always just work, if you're going to stay in this variation, you can work with just engaging the core and bringing the legs a little closer to the head, as in this variation I'm showing you. Now, if you're ready to come into full shoulder stand, Sarvangasana, you can gain a little momentum by rocking the body. And then when you're ready, lifting up, grabbing onto the low back for support, engaging the core, lifting the legs up towards the ceiling, staying for a few breaths. On your next exhale, we'll come into Halasana, allowing the toes to come down to the ground behind you or as close as you can. Again, if you're lying all the way down on the back, just engage the core a little bit and try and lift the legs a little closer to the head. A couple more breaths here. Next, we'll bend into the knees, coming into Karnapindasana. If you were lying on the back, you can come into happy baby. Couple more breaths. Wherever you're at, slowly straightening out the legs again. If you're coming back into Halasana, taking your time with control, slowly releasing the legs all the way down, rolling out the back. We're going to make our way into Matsiasana, so bringing the feet out long, bringing the elbows down onto the ground, lifting up the heart and the chest, and if it's okay on your neck, releasing the head back. This is a beautiful counter pose to all those deep forward folds we were just doing. All of these poses are fabulous for the neocortex, for helping us to rewire our thoughts, because our thoughts is where it all starts. If it's in your practice in Matsiasana, fish pose, you can release the crown of the head onto the mat, using those upper back muscles to lift, opening up the heart. On your next exhale, slowly releasing the back onto the ground. You can bring the knees back into the chest again. Give yourself a little rock side to side. And when you're ready, we'll take a gentle spinal twist, releasing the knees over to the left. Opening the right arm out to the right. You can look to the right if that's comfortable for you. Allowing the body to unwind, to relax, to prepare for our final resting pose. If there are any deeper variations you'd like to take of your spinal twist, please do so. Next inhale, bringing the knees back to center, while exhaling it over to the other side. Again, if there's a deeper variation you'd like to take, feel free. This is your practice, your body. Always follow that inner authority on what's right for you. Your next inhale, bringing the knees back to center, giving yourself one last squeeze in, and then extending the arms long and the legs long, coming into our final pose, Shavasana, our resting pose. Allowing the body to relax and just sink into the ground, absorbing and assimilating everything you've just done, raising your frequency a little higher, helping to shift the thoughts, bringing more awareness to where your thoughts are actually at, so you know what needs to change, what needs to transmute. I'll leave you here for a couple minutes to absorb, and I will cue you when it's ready to come out. For now, just breathe and receive. Bring some movements back in, wiggling the toes and the fingers, maybe rocking the head side to side. When you're ready, rolling on to whichever side is calling you for a breath, and slowly making your way up to your seat. Bringing the hands to prayer and then lifting them up to the third eye, touching into that neocortex, that space where we start to shift our thoughts, to trigger the mutations, to trigger the healings in our DNA, so that we may transmutate into the person whom we know is calling us. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Take this practice with you off your mat and into the world, because when each of us raises our frequency, it has a collective effect on the world. Namaste.